Welcome back. You're still watching Prime Morning. Now, let's start off with our very first paper. The Daily Guide newspaper says here, horror in Takorad. Big conversations in Takorad when it comes to kidnappings and killings. This one here says, kidnapped pregnant woman found, baby missing. I don't know if you did a follow-up on that story recently. A woman was pregnant, a 28-year-old heavily pregnant woman was kidnapped. However, she's been found, but her baby is missing. Well, not much has come out of her as she's still in a state of shock and very traumatized. But the full story is here on page 3, capturing us all the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper. Kidnapped pregnant woman found, a baby missing. More stories here. Now, the Kaswa killer teens trial is also set after legal vacation. You do remember that story as well, right? Also on page 6, the two boys who killed who did they even they killed a
10-year-old boy. Is it the Kaswa?
Yeah, that's the Kaswa. Yeah. Yes. Well, so when the legal system gets back into operation, trial is set to begin as well. The president also warns SDGs scaled up. That story is here on page 3. If I jump somewhere into the middle page here, more stories. Now, Ghana moves to protect ICT infrastructure from cyber attacks. And let's pick this one here. We can wrap up with that. Okay. Let me see if any other story here trends for us to have or worth discussing. Okay, I think I can hand over to you now, MFR Ben.
Okay, I continue with the Daily Graphic this morning. Remember that we reported that a young man was found with 656 ATM cards. Now the Daily Graphic.
Yours was included.
Yes, I can't find mine. I suspect mine.
Dude had over 600 ATM cards.
Yes.
Oh yes, I saw that story.
Yeah.
And when he was traveling.
He actually, I don't know that he was traveling, but they caught him with it. Yeah. He had a Nigerian passport, but he says that he's Ghanaian. I remember his first name, not to.
I wonder what he's using all
I can't find all my ATM cards, so I probably would have to go and search.
I mean, wait, the story didn't state whether the cards had different names on them. People's ATM.
These are different cards.
For people's cards.
Yeah, yes, different cards.
So he's a collector of expired ATM cards, maybe.
So the BOG NIB probe 656 ATM cards is on page 3 of the Daily Graphic this morning. I will go to another story. In the center spread of the Daily Graphic this morning, be measured in utterances to consolidate peace. The chief imam has been speaking. Fix the country movement demonstrating Sekendi Takorad as well. Details of that one is in the middle page of the Daily Graphic this morning. So there was another story. Well, CPP resurrects Nkrumah on birthday. And not exactly, not that they resurrected him from the dead, but they celebrated his birthday yesterday with a symposium. I wanted to find you the theme that they were trying to drum home, but it's on page 16 of the Daily Graphic this morning. Benjamin, ready?
Okay, well, it was indeed beautiful yesterday. Yeah. I still haven't got over yesterday's show, and I'm still basking in the glow. And oh, guys, by the way,
is it still the same?
Do you know I actually kept this, and like throughout the day I would turn it over and watch whether it had changed to that. I don't know how Bernard did it, because this was the Queen of Hearts or Diamonds or something.
Trust me, we'll find the answer on
really?
YouTube. Yeah, it's very easy.
How did they do it?
Listen, there's nothing.
And how was he able to post something on the 1st of September that you guys would pick a king of something and a 7 of spades or so, and that is what you picked on the show?
Well, so usually
he posted it on his Instagram on the 1st of September.
Well, so usually these things are from the list I went back to read yesterday. Just
you had to go back to read.
Yeah, just do check.
Do you have to find out how?
So, for example, he did one that I posted on my page on Instagram where he flipped the card. I caught wind of it, but I just kept quiet. So basically, the card, my card. Was behind the card that he was holding, so he had to hold it in a certain way and flip it. So when you slow the video down at a certain frame rate, you see that the card is being flipped behind.
Jude is trying to ruin our happiness. So we won't allow you to ruin our happiness.
But that was a smart
Can you do it?
That's what
they
do.
But that's what they do. They keep you busy on other things whilst you.
Oh yeah, of course. It's a mind game.
Yeah.
They keep your focus on something while they are doing something else. Anyway, but I was impressed. I was impressed. I just wish he could have performed magic and taken off something.
So, I was asking him about how the business of magic, whether it's something that is has got interest in Ghana. He says, well, it's just like comedy. It's growing, but it will take a while.
It's a bit small here.
Because we have juju, which is trending, which is a bigger force. So if you want to introduce, if you want to introduce illusion, nah, it's like paying the pain.
The people will be like, hey, what do you figure say they do? We depart,
we vanish.
So you say that magic comes with smadness, is that it?
Are you hearing what he says? He says this one, you cause cards and stuff to vanish. I know they and Kasa, they vanish.
That's true.
Let's get into Find a Newspaper. So government partners Dubois Foundation to transform Dubois Center into a museum complex. Those of you who have been saying Dubois, stop it. It's Dubois. New ADB board determined to pay dividends. And calm your followers, support president's nominees. Asabi Asamoah Boateng appeals to losing MMDCE aspirants and their supporters. And Ghana must not take its peacefulness for granted. UN resident coordinator. Speaking of the UN, have you seen that video with DKB where he's with Dr. UN accepting an award and he say, DKB, oh, anyway, we'll leave him at that. That's it. I think I'll just add some sports. New Kotoko coach makes bold prediction, Dr. Prosper Nate Ogum. And finally, we are joking and sleeping. Mercy Tego slams GFA, of course, on the back of the loss of the Black Queens. That's it for the Find a Newspaper.
Wait, did the Black Queens lose to Cameroon again?
So I believe it's on the back of the performance against, it's about the performance against South Africa.
That's 3.
Against which they lost 2-0. 3-0. Yeah. But yesterday, I believe, Tego Kweku was speaking following the Black Queens 2-0 victory over Cameroon in the Aisha Buhari Cup tournament in Lagos.
That's impressive.
On Monday. That was actually 2 days ago.
Okay.
More stories?
Well, Mifa?
Okay, so I told you the Chronicle this morning. So the abducted pregnant lady found with blood on body, baby delivered but can't be found, is on page 2 and 3. I'm told that she's in the custody of medical, doctors who would take care of her health and then also psychologically. Then she can get talking. Also, police hand over Ejimako DCE to Attorney General for prosecution. Armed robbers seized 29,000 Ghana cedis cash in traffic. It's on page 7. It happened at Achimota. There's a photo of the scene here in front of the Chronicle this morning. MMDC must make Ghanaians proud. Asibe has also been speaking. From John 3:16 to John's Army of Guns and Bullets. Ebo Kwanzaa has got an article on page 14 of the Chronicle. You might want to read that. Just maybe. Exodus 21 verse 16, kidnappers must be put to death, whether they are caught in possession of their victims or have already sold them as slaves. Now this isn't the Old Testament. Now that we're in the era of grace, if we find these kidnappers, shall we kill them?
Per the law, you can't take the law into your own hands.
Okay. It won't be our own hands. All of us are.
Well, rumors that back in the day, during the era of the PNDC, that under Rawlings, when they catch a thief, they fly you deep sea. If you swim back and you still want to steal, it's up to you.
I mean, I'm not able to look at this woman. I was reading past and over her because I do not.
It's traumatizing looking at her and she herself. You can't even begin to imagine.
The fear in her eyes.
Yeah. I mean, what, 28-year-old? And so you can see there was a careful plan. She's pregnant, so it's the baby they wanted. They abduct her, take her. You know, she says she delivered that same day. She was abducted by the kidnappers. I don't know whether it was induced. Likely, they induced her to deliver. They took the baby and left her. And she was found somewhere in Axim. I hear when she was found, she initially couldn't even, she was so traumatized, she couldn't speak. She had to write. Anyway.
Well, moving on?
Yeah, no, that's it.
All right, so let's move into the Ghanaian Times as well. Real quickly, 12 arrested in Shreponi. How about Kumsin hands over church hall to Kaswa Methodist Church? Story on page 25 of the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Fix the Country demo hits also second day, Takorad Day. Moving into other stories, Make Africa Your Home, the president speaking. as well. And how would you pronounce K-L-E-F-E?
K-L-E-F-E.
I like the way you paused to ask me again how the spelling went.
You got to be careful. Is it the name of a place?
Is it? Yes, it's the name of a place.
Klepper? Is it not? Is it in the Volta region?
Very British, I must say.
Is it in the Volta region?
Well, that sounds very British. I like the way you said it. It sounds. Don't worry about where it is.
No, is it? No, I'm just curious. Is it in the Volta region?
Klepper should be in the Volta region. Where else can Klepper be?
Yeah, that's what I said. Klepper.
Yeah, it sounded very.
There's another. It's hyphenated.
It sounded very Klepper-ish.
Klepper-ish. Yeah, Klepper-ish. Yeah, G-E-M-E-T-E. I don't want to pronounce that one as well. But anyways.
What are these your
Well, so stories about the place in the back page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper. I'll leave it right here. Back to you if you have more papers.
Okay, I'll just do the Ghanaian Publisher newspaper very quickly. I'll go to the international page, that is page 4. Sudan foils coup attempt. I'm interested here because, Charlie, more coups in the region. This time not Assam region, but in the African region. Sudanese authorities have foiled an attempted coup, the army said on Tuesday, warding off a challenge to a civilian military council that has run the country since Omar al-Bashir was overthrown in 2019. 3 dead, dozens hurt in Burundi blasts. And what's that story? Public Accounts Committee begins sitting in Ho. And so it has begun its week-long session with public institutions in the Greater Accra, Volta, Eastern, and Oti regions. Public Accounts Committee. Always things come out, but sometimes you don't really get to see. Oh, yeah, this was fishy. Oh, there are suspicions here, but So that is it for the Ghanaian Publisher.
Quickly, the Daily Banner is reporting how police in the U-turn over Reverend Owusu Bempe's trial and intends to file fresh charges. This is on page 10 of the Daily Banner this morning. And quickly, the Ghanaian Observer. Yeah.
The Lord is my banner.
The Ghanaian Observer as well, achieving UN's NDGs. Now think big, act big, and smartly. Akufo-Addo urges world leaders. Such an honor to see our president deliver such sterling speech. Well, it's on page 9 and 10 of the Ghanaian Observer this morning. Jay already brought you the story of how 12 persons have been arrested in Tripolis disturbances, and also bring your expertise to help President Akufo-Addo. Sega Boss charges MMDCE nominees, Mr. Stephen Asamoah Boateng. That's it for the papers from me.
More stories?
I'll wrap up with sports, actually, from the Daily Statesman. But the banner headline, Fighting Poverty Becoming More Daunting, President Akufo-Addo. Yes, a macro, no. So, but yeah, just a micro. That's your bottom. Mouth odor. Here are 4 ways to reduce the menace while masking up. You know, I posted something funny during the lockdown period, but if you have things going on in your mouth there, it is in these times of COVID-19 that you really know your level, because after you've done a mask for about 2 hours, Betty,
see how much you've contributed.
You've contributed to polluting the environment. But in sporting news, Matthew Amoah is the highest Ghanaian scorer in Dutch football history. And the 40-year-old spent a chunk of his playing career in the Netherlands, but he's made history with 116 goals. I think between 1998 and 2005, and then 2007. And maybe wrapping up with some boxing news. You know of Anthony Joshua, right?
Fight coming up.
He's going to be facing Ukrainian Alexander Usyk, and that is said to be likely one of his toughest tests, if not his toughest. And staying on boxing, have you ever heard of Manny Pacquiao?
Of course I have.
The Philippines guy, tough nut,
so swift,
broken down by Mayweather.
Oh yeah, that he wanted a rematch, did he?
Mayweather was like, it's like the MMDCs. Anyway,
with you.
Oh yeah, he's
Anthony
running
Joshua.
for president. Anthony Joshua's fight.
Some of us
so let me check out the dates. I don't know whether it's been fixed yet, but Saturday's fight from Tottenham will be broadcast on BBC Radio 5 Live with commentary from 22 hours. I don't know whether that refers to this Saturday.
Oh, okay.
But
Anthony Joshua. Anthony
Joshua.
Like
Alexander
Anthony.
Usyk. Yes.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
the British
say
Niger
the cute
guy.
boxer. That's easy. The women can relate. Say the handsome boxer. We can relate. No need to give us this tribe and where he comes
So
from.
if he were not,
oh yeah,
I mean, he get money.
Oh yeah.
If he were not handsome,
say
you look at the money, right? You look at the money.
Money makes everything beautiful.